Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the Most High, the Heavenly Father, and Yahweh Shai is the Messiah, the only begotten Son of the Most High, which these are the true names of the Most High and His only begotten Son in the ancient Hebrew tongue, which is the holy language which the Lord hath given us to call upon His true name and His Son's true name in sincerity with one accord. Also want to give double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, and the upcoming elders which rule well and teach well of Great Millstone. I want to give peace and blessings unto the elect, the house of David, the 144,000 elect men, whoever you may be, and salute and shalom to the fellow laborers which testify of Yahweh Shai and publish this word. As Yahweh Shai said, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the sons of God. And that's exactly what you men are doing. Those of you who teach, those of you who prophesy, you're speaking peace to the hearer, to those who are appointed to believe. And what you're doing is a good thing. It results in the good of others, but it also going to result in your good. You will have your reward in the end. So I exhort you men to continue in the work. My name is Zakaria, and the focus of this lesson is ultimately concerned on how the Lord will again choose Israel. The Lord will again deal with us again. You know, in fact, I was meditating on the book of Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. Let's read it. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. Yeah, and that's the point. You know, it will not be hard forever. There will not be us under the curses forever. We will not be without strength forever. The Lord will choose us again. Now, going to that word choose, well, that's self-explanatory. Well, let's go into that word yet. It's a simple word, you know, but nevertheless, I want to go into it. The word yet is from the Hebrew word
Strong's H 5750. Ode. Strong's H 5750. Ode.
which means an iteration or continuance or again. So the Lord will again choose us again, man. The Lord will choose us again, man. The Lord will deal with us again by giving us our land back, by giving us strength and power and sovereignty, by restoring us, you know, by blessing us and putting us on a pedestal on this planet Earth. The Lord will again do that in these last days, man. Though it's hard now, being under the curses and suffering for Yahweh Shai, there's going to be prosperity in the end. You know, there's going to be welfare and goodness in the end. You know, and this is a comforting words unto you believers. You know, have a couple of scriptures prepared. You know, so Lord will like to knock them out. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 33, verse 19. And a word of Yahweh came unto Jeremiah, saying, Thus saith Yahweh, if ye can break my covenant of the day and my covenant of the night, and that there should not be day and night in their season. Then may also my covenant be broken with David, my servant. Yeah, and ultimately, the Lord ultimately established, the sun and the moon to exist, to continue forever. That would never, be, broken. The sun and the moon will always exist. There will always be a day and a night. So the Lord will not break the covenant with David. And what is that covenant that the Lord made with David? 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 12. It says, and when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. He shall build an house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. Yeah, and that's the throne of David, which will ultimately be headed by Yahweh Shai, the only begotten Son of the Most High. And under Yahweh Shai will be Israel. And princes will reign, a nation, a kingdom of kings and priests, which is going to be you elect. This is going to be an eternal rulership, an eternal government, an eternal dominion. It says, he shall build an house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. Now, if you can receive it, Solomon is Yahweh Shai was Solomon. Yahweh Shai had different series of life on this planet Earth, and one of his series of life was Solomon, being Solomon. And Yahweh Shai, Solomon, they're the same people. That's the only being whom the Lord have called personally, his son. Individually, his son. It says, if he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men. Yeah, Yahweh Shai, he went through that. It says, but my mercy shall not depart away from him. I want to get to the point. It's not the point I want to get to. It's verse 16, but I want to read this. It says, as I took it from Saul, whom I put away before thee, and thine house and thy kingdom shall be established forever. Before thee, thy throne shall be established forever. So the Lord is going to establish the kingdom of Israel forever, man. And this is what's coming. Right now is a momentary, a temporal suffering, a temporal affliction. But what's ahead is an eternal peace and joy, an eternal excellency, an eternal kingdom, rulership, dominion, peace, and joy. And this is what's coming, man. This is what's promised to Israel, man. It says, so going back to Jeremiah chapter 33, verse 21, it says, then may also my covenant be broken with David, my servant. So the Lord, just as the Lord wouldn't break his covenant with the day and the night, with the sun and the moon, he wouldn't break it with David. He wouldn't break that covenant with David, you know? It says, then he should not have a son to reign upon his throne, and with the Levites, the priests, my ministers. It says, as the host of heaven cannot be numbered. Yup, it's impossible to do that. Neither the sand of the sea measured. So will I multiply the seed of David my servant, and the Levites that minister unto me. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came to Jeremiah, saying, considerest thou not what this people have spoken, yea, the nations, saying the two families which Yahweh have chosen, which is what, the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, Judah and Ephraim, Judah and Israel, he have even cast them off. And this is what the world is saying. This is what the nations are saying, you know? Or this is, you know, ultimately what has been thought of by the heathens, by the nations. You know, that you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians are cast off. And even then, the world don't know who the true children of Israel are. But now there's a doctrine that's covering the whole earth pertaining, you know, to the Lord dealing with everybody. The Lord not only dealing with Israel, you know, it's a universal religion, you know, and this is the doctrine that's covering the whole earth, which that doctrine is false. The Lord is only dealing with Israel, you know. It says, thus they have despised my people. And yeah, that hatred, you know, towards Israel is perpetual. It says that they should be no more a nation before them. And yeah, right? The nations, they don't consider you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Indians, you know, you Latin tribes, you Negroid tribes of Israel. They don't consider you to be any people related or relevant to the scriptures, man. You know? You know? Just the people that's not thought of by God. You know? You know, just a no people and a low-born people. That's really what the nations think of us. You know, the so-called white man, Chinese man, you know, African man, you know, Arab man. You know, just the people with a degenerate culture, that's all they think of us. You know, but not knowing that, right, we are related. We have some relation, great relations with the Heavenly Father and His Son. Being the true children of Israel, the people whom the Lord acknowledged and have chosen. It says, thus saith Yahweh, if my covenant be not with day and night, if I have not appointed the ordinance of heaven and earth, then will I cast away the seed of Jacob. So the Lord is not going to completely cast us away. He will return. You know, you think about in today's culture, you know, marriages and relationships between a man and a woman is not always kept strong and faithfully, you know. But some, you know, a lot of the times men always make that come around to their favorite woman, you know, to that best girl that they had in the past. Well, you know, metaphorically speaking, this is what the Lord is going to do with us. He's going to come back around, you know. Just as the man returneth to his old woman, the Lord is going to return to his people, man. by choosing us again, you know? And this is what we have to wait for. This is what we're patiently waiting for. And this is what we hope for, you know? Genesis chapter 8, verse... Well, we don't gotta get that. Let's go to the book of Hebrews chapter 6. Hebrews chapter 6. Slocky, bear with me. I had to do something. It says, verse 17. It says, wherein God, willing more abundantly to show unto the heirs of promise the immutability of his counsel, confirmed it by an oath. You know, so the Lord, and he made an oath with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not just with David, you know, but with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, with Israel, you know. And it tell you further up in this chapter that he's sworn by his own name. Now, any faithful man, any just man, if they swear by their name, they sure will keep it. Truly, truly, man. You know, so will the Lord with us. It says that by two immutable things, immutable means unchangeable. So the Lord will not change on his promise. The Lord will not turn back. And this is what we have to hope for. We're hoping in the Lord's righteousness. It says, in which it was impossible for God to lie. That's his righteousness. That's his righteous quality or characteristics, being the Most High. It says, we might have a strong consolation, yea, a comfort, who have fled for refuge, to lay hold upon the hope set before us. And yeah, that's what we're doing. We're fleeing for this safety, you know, towards this safe way, this sure and strong and stable way, which is what? Faith in Yahweh Shai, faith in his truth, being in his truth, being in his knowledge, you know. To lay hold, that's what we're doing, upon the hope set before us. And Yahweh Shai, he's like the personification, the main source of our hope. It says, which hope we have as an anchor of the soul. Yeah, anchor is symbolic for what? Something that is sure, something that is strong and stable, something that is firm. And that's Yahweh Shai. That's this faith, that's this hope that we have. It says both sure and steadfast, and which entereth into that within the veil. And that what Yahweh Shai did. Yahweh Shai, he sacrificed his life, you know, suffered the death of the cross, and entered, you know, dying and being resurrected. I mean, dying and going back to the Father, or being resurrected and going back to the Father, you know. Yahweh Shai became a high priest unto us, making intercession for us, you know, and we have a connection back with Yahweh through Yahweh Shai. It says, whether the forerunner is for us, entered even Yahweh Shai, made an high priest for us forever, after the order of Melchizedek. You know, Isaiah chapter 35 verse 7, it says, and the parched ground shall become a pool. And that parched ground is us. You know, we were a people who became a no people, a people who were separated from our knowledge, you know, from wisdom, from understanding, ultimately separated from our God, being separated from his strength, from his, you know, salvation, from his protection, you know. But it says it shall become a pool, and it starts with this truth, you know, this water of life, you know, which entereth into our soul, our mind. And it's ultimately going to lead to, you know, better and greater things on this physical plane, this earth, social, sovereign power, and strength, being brought into paradise, being made kings and priests, being established above all nations. It says, in a thirsty land, springs of water, right? We were that thirsty land. People who lacked knowledge or wisdom, understand, who lacked the Most High. We lacked God, in our life, and we lacked His strength, and that's why we were given to the enemy. We were given to the so-called white man. We were put through slavery. We suffer. We are afflicted. We are under the curses, right? But the Lord is going to change that, and it starts with this truth. It starts with the spirit of the Most High, which the Lord have given us. It says, in the habitation of dragons, which is America, where each lay shall be grass with reeds and rushes. And the Lord is going to make us flourish again. But it starts with this truth. It starts with the spirit, It starts with the spirit of truth, which is really the earnest of our inheritance. When you go into that word earnest, it means down payment or first installment. So really receiving this truth, receiving the spirit, that's the first installment of things to come, So it first starts with this truth, and it's going to lead to, in a process of things, it's going to lead to us being blessed all around, socially, physically, politically on the earth,